everyone, yes, I'm still using this model. I feel like it was very appropriate to use my monster form. Well, this isn't my monster form, it's my monster boy form, or monster man
My
form.
giant monkey.
Now, if I had a...
Oh.
I do have a monster form, but it's only in 3D, and I can't really, use it that way, so I don't really know how to work some of the 3D stuff for that, or work some of the 3D, VTuber stuff, so yeah, I won't be using that anytime soon. Oh my god.
Come on.
Anyway, I was thinking about using a really cool thing for some reason I keep thinking about Psycho Mantis, but anyway, for starting a VTubing group around making it like a special ops unit. You know, like Fox Sound and all that from Metal Gear. Anyway, that was my thought process on that, but you probably won't hear about that for a while because most of my...
Howard Duck.
Oh my god. Because most of my ideas usually die upon the bed stage because I don't have money to use them.
My favorite Metal Gear character. Them in Danger Box.
I thought you'd like Camo Octopus.
Didn't he die?
No, that's Liquid's name in Fox Sound. That's just the name he used.
I swear to God, Decoy Octopus died to jail. So anyway, Pokemon.
Oh no, Decoy Octopus didn't die. He impersonated the DARPA chief.
Yes, and then he died of Fox Die.
Anyway, that's how Liquid dies. Anyway,
that's how a lot of people died. Anyway, yes, Pokemon.
Pokemon. I'm gonna learn about who's Oval here in Hoenn. Ah.
My Gen. I say multi-diamond throw more.
Funny enough, Platinum is the only Pokemon game I ever played.
Good, Platinum slapped.
I always used a Scyther, but I could never figure out how to evolve him, so he just got really strong.
You needed friends.
The third time? I know, I thought it was over too, but the Bible did say something about hell being hard to get out of. We're back again to talk about more Pokepets.
Yeah!
Except instead of the desolate wastes of Johto, we're jumping into the deep end in Hoenn. Hoenn keeps its evolutionary additions to the baby forms,
these characters.
Meaning its fully evolved lineup is all original. No new types, no apologies for making Lickitung. That means we have 76 new Pokemon to go over. A wide spectrum this time. Some lurking deep underwater, some in deserts, and others calling volcanoes home. If you have any preference, Hoenn has you covered. As long as you want a mixed attacker. To quickly go over the criteria again, Pokemon are graded on 5 categories.
There you go,
How easy they are to house, their type, which is based on the damn graph, their behavior, how safe they are, and how easy it is to take care of them. I'm the authority on this, as I'm the only one who bothered to do it.
Because he's having fun.
Once the scores are tallied up, we go from the bottom to the top,
didn't have enough
saving the top 5 best and worst for the end. The pets you'd write into your will, versus the ones who need you to write one.
Yeah, who do you need to write one for?
No.
Starting things out is the loneliest little boy who nobody liked. Ranking in with a 1.5 out of 25.
1.5?
The lowest a Pokemon has ever sunk without dipping into the bottom 5. You can't even get on the loser's podium. What an underachiever!
Dustox.
Would this be an overachiever? Starting us off is the tales of the most risky coin flip in Hoenn, Dustox.
Yep.
Now, Wurmple might not be
okay,
psychic,
why is he saying he's the riskiest?
Because when you get a Wurmple, it will either become Silcoon or Cascoon. It's kind of a coin flip which one you get. And that determines whether the end result is poison type or flying type.
Oh. I kind of always liked Dustox because I know they're a moth. They're not really cute moth.
He's a huggable bug boy who's just going to give you anaphylactic shock.
Oh! Well then, and yes, I did shrink myself down a little. I realized I'm a little too big on screen.
As once you hit level 7, you get the rest of your life laid out for you.
What?
Ah, sweet, I'm getting Beautifly. Ah, shit, I'm gonna die. Dustox is a moth, meaning you're already gonna be barely seeing him since he's nocturnal.
I forgot most moths are nocturnal.
Is actually a plus, since like Venomoth, His wing beats create a thick cloud of poisonous dust that coats everything around it.
Oh, great.
In fact, you're going to notice that this and Dustox got the exact same grades when it comes to being a pet, since they're almost the exact same when it comes to being a Pokemon. That's not entirely true, really.
Probably.
For instance, Dustox is actually weaker, and makes up for that by being a dick. Where Venomoth keeps its diet to smaller insects, Dustox prefers to feed on the foliage of large cities, stripping trees and bushes of all of their leaves as it sweeps through in
Good lord.
And who do you think Dustox is gonna ask to let crash on the couch when they're all done? I liked you better when you were a mean ball. For our next category of pets, we're rocketing all the way up to 4 points. A 3-point increase from the last group. I apologize if that sounded like an improvement. We haven't gotten to the bad pets yet. The 4-pointers start out with another big blow to the pseudo-legendary.
Yep.
Falling far from Dragonite,
Salamence is an asshole.
Managing to bounce back from Tyranitar with Salamence. Salamence should be an inspiring story. The grumpy little Bagon trying desperately to fly, fortifying himself into Shelgon, and undergoing an amazing transformation into Salamence. Finally become—
I will say one thing, Salamence is the only one I like of that line. The other two are just don't appeal to me in any way of being a cool dragon.
If you can't appreciate a hardened shell with legs, then I don't know what I can say.
Oh my god. That's basically what you are. But it's...
I don't
the dragon he always wanted to be. He left out his secondary dream of leaving no survivor. Salamence is just as aggressive as Tyranitar, except with the mobility to menace way more territory than that green bum ever could. Fulfilling his fantasy of flight is nice, but when he enters one of his frequent fits of rage, only quelled when his body is totally exhausted and gives out on him, it means the area for miles is in a lot of danger. Heck, he doesn't even have to be mad to cause damage. The Dex talks about how his happiness manifests into belching flames onto the area below him.
Oh god!
It is incredibly hard to tell if Salamence is having the best day of his life or if a war just broke out. If you want to include the descriptions for Mega Evolutions, it can get so angry it'll even turn on its own trainer. One of the very few times Pokemon ever refers to a trained Pokemon attacking and killing a trainer. I mean, even a perfectly trained one is going to cause you trouble sooner or later, because its hunting territory overlaps with Garchomps. Sooner or later, you're going to get a land shark knocking on your door looking for a fight. There's a world of difference, though, between Garchomp and the entire atmosphere. That's who you're going to be beefing with if you decide to keep a Deoxys.
Wait, but I just thought Deoxys was an alien.
He is an alien.
Why is
You'll see what he means.
Okay. What?
Well, he's your squishy alien boy who likes to change forms and is also the fastest in the universe, baby. 1/4 of the time.
I do like his more bulkier look, honestly.
Sis is not a creature of Earth. Said to be an alien virus that mutated into a form that we can only really call a Pokemon.
Do not poke the chest.
Oh, what breed is your dog? Andromeda, I think. Being an emotionless alien means that a lot of what you can expect from Deoxys is unknown. It's hard to tell if it will see a lil pup hopping up into its lap as cute or a declaration of violence and respond accordingly. It's extremely smart, but has no idea how Earth life works. It might be a Mewtwo situation where it would see the idea of being kept as insulting and use his psychic powers to remove all your bones.
Yeah, I don't have to move.
Then there's all the stuff you have to think if Deoxys even does. Does it eat? Does it sleep?
I don't know.
When your veterinarian asks you, so does your dog breathe? A lot of logistical questions to consider while running for your life from the sky itself. Yeah, the big problem with Deoxys that negates any positives is that keeping one puts you on Rayquaza's shit list. As the guardian of Earth, Rayquaza sees an extraterrestrial life form like Deoxys as a threat. And when one coming to Earth is an extinction-level event, it's not like I don't understand, but look, I can make him smooth.
Oh god, I didn't realize Rayquaza was our form of Godzilla.
If anything, Rayquaza's closer to Mothra. If Mothra just had one guy she really fucking hated.
I was thinking of Gamera, actually. Quite literally defending everyone from outer space demons.
Well, it's not just that. Rayquaza also steps down to break up fights between the land and the sea every now and then.
So basically, Rayquaza defends the Earth from any extraterrestrials that it deems a threat. Well.
Yes. And also slaps down Groudon and Kyogre whenever they wake up.
Makes sense.
Its ability is actually specifically tuned to negate theirs.
Oh, makes sense.
Noble soul, but if it sees you as a dirty Deoxys sympathizer, it's gonna fuck you up. Yeah, start trouble with the one Pokemon banned to anything goes. Tell me what happens. Don't worry, I know how to contact you. Next up is Shedinja.
I have a funny story about Shedinja.
If you wanted to show somebody your pet and then...
Okay.
So I mentioned that gym leader challenge we're doing, right?
What was it again?
In Minecraft, we're doing a gym leader challenge. We each built, well, my streaming group built gyms to be challenged by people who want to win a free copy of ZA.
Okay.
So, someone walks up to me, Steel-type gym leader whose specialty is stalling and entry hazards.
Oh.
Their third Mon was Shedinja, and it instantly fucking perished.
Oh.
Their next challenge they led was Shedinja, and it turns out I actually struggled to get a hit on it outside of the entry hazards.
Huh.
And then they dropped Kyogre on my ass and swept the team.
Of course.
Reached into your pocket and pulled out some discarded cicada skin, they'd probably call you weird.
Yeah.
Luckily, by the time you show them Shedinja, they're already dead. Shedinja is a unique Pokemon when it comes to evolution, evolving from Nincada if you have a spare Pokeball and Team Slot when it evolves into Ninjas.
Specifically a Pokeball, I tried it with
as it's
anything
actually
else.
the molten skin of Nincada's real evolution. It might be a knock against Ninjask that it has enough darkness in its heart to conjure up whatever the hell Shedinja is.
Yeah.
Shedinja is not alive. Sounds pretty typical of ghost types, but I mean,
it's
it
literally
doesn't
the skin.
do anything. It has no organs, it doesn't breathe, it doesn't move, it just floats up and down.
This is
Deals
horrifying.
all damage unless super effective. It's not like a Gengar or...
I feel like we could make a horror anthology about this.
And it only really has one trick. It floats there, and if you look at its back, your soul is its.
It sounds like a stand, honestly. I'm not.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of that one stand. I like to hang on people's backs.
Yeah.
Mischievous. Those are at least active and doing things, like murder. Shedinja is more a balloon than a pet. You could say that makes him an ease of care masterclass, since you literally don't need to do a thing to support him.
Yeah.
But in reality, keeping one of these things is a massive hazard.
I don't think you can find wild
There's a
Shedinja,
legend
though.
that peering into the hole on the back of a Shedinja that Ninjask emerged from will steal your soul. What's funny, though, is that you don't even need to count that against Shedinja's behavior, because it's not like he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
You drop dead after having your soul ripped out, and it's just gonna be floating there. None the wiser,
Pretty much.
since it can't even think, and just waiting to be turned in as evidence when the police find your body. Moving on to 5, and if you think the extra point is helping any of these guys, let their first pick assure you that
here we go, Groudon.
Ever wanted to beat up a child? Baynet is another ghost type like Shedinja.
What?
And unfortunately, this one actually does stuff, and is barely less dangerous to boot. Now, getting a Baynet is really easy. Stop by the local dumpster, listen for the angriest one, fish around for a bit, and you have a dog. Baynet is the spirit of a discarded toy that manifested its anger over being thrown away into a new body. And
weird part is its pre-evolution
dream of getting revenge on the child who...
Like, Shuppet isn't a discarded doll, but its evolution Baynet is.
This feels like it could be a Mimikyu, you know what I mean? Like, a Mimikyu could be the doll that's happy to be in there, evolves to this if it gets angry. You know what I mean?
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Threw it away. So, my dog has a grudge. Its grudge is so all-consuming that the only way you can connect with it is by being its informant. Adopt the kid who threw it away, and maybe Bayonet will like you. Except getting Bayonet to like you actually isn't that good a thing. As Bayonets treated well enough will actually lose their grudge and turn back into the discarded toy they were originally.
Oh.
So if I'm too nice to my dog,
he dies.
Great.
What the
really
hell?
Goes along with his hobbies of at-home acupuncture he uses for voodoo curses. So Viper's up next, and I'm starting to think there's something in all that water because Hoenn is the generation of grudge matches. Rayquaza and Deoxys, Bayonet and a 5-year-old, and now one half of the main event, Seviper versus Zangoose.
I remember
Based on the real-life hatred of snakes and mongooses, the side with the venom was always going to have no legs to stand on, and that's before you realize it's a snake. What really kills Seviper, though, is that it's not even an interesting snake.
How could you not realize this is a snake?
Well, no, it's like, it has no legs to stand on, even before you account for the fact that it's a snake.
Oh,
at least has a pattern to look at. Sanaconda can get bigger. Onyx is big by default. Every other snake has way more going on than Seviper does. Oh, it's the Fang Snake Pokemon?
I still think he looks cool.
About what most snakes have too. Yeah, I mean it's poisonous and has a sword for a tail, but if I'm being honest, he's a snooze fest of a snake. All the danger, but nothing really cool about it. Mightyena comes next, and despite being slightly more dog-shaped than Bayonet and Seviper, he's no less cruel and aggressive.
Of course.
The first time you see one, it's running Professor Birch ragged and trying to attack him. I can't wait for this to get bigger. Mightyenas are pack hunters, often surrounded by weaker members of their pack, including the younger Poochyenas. And if you know anything about African wild dogs, those are actually the worst ones.
Yeah, the
Mightyenas are quick to anger, ferocious attackers who never give up on a hunt once it starts. If Mightyena sees you as food,
here's the thing about wolves and most canines, is they're endurance hunters. They run their prey down. So yeah.
Whether it or exhaustion gets you first is really up to you.
Yeah.
The only way to tame a Mightyena is to prove that you're a superior level of trainer and show that you're worthy of being its master. You evolve at level 18! I have my first gym badge! Obey me, you dumb dog! I apologize. You know what? I apologize. I spoke out of turn. It was very rude of me. I apologize. And now on to something a little less high maintenance.
No, Groudon's only 6 meters. It's fucking weird.
I'd be confused.
Yeah, I thought it was kaiju level. Like, cities.
Apparently that's just fake Groudon, because regular Groudon's actually surprisingly short.
But yeah, how is Groudon more easy to deal with than Mightyena?
Because I'm guessing he's just not actively an asshole.
Maybe he just lives on a volcano and that makes it okay.
If you expected this to be easy. Before this generation, legendary Pokemon were just really strong Pokemon. I think the Earth would keep spinning with or without Zapdos.
Yeah.
Hoenn was the start of
legendaries being
embodiments of concepts and worldly forces. Groudon, in this case, being in charge of the Earth, contrasting Kyogre's control of water. The first box legendary to be weak to his accompanying legendary, it's obvious that would give him a chip on his shoulder. But he keeps up Hoenn's underlying theme of everybody having a fucking problem. If you keep Groudon, he's already not good. Thing's massive and used to living in deep underground caverns.
Actually shorter than I thought it was.
I mean, I can move some boxes around in the basement, but I don't think that's gonna help.
Bigger than Groudon.
The very best thing
a nightmare frame?
A dog is bigger than Groudon.
Wow!
Unless he's Primal Groudon, at which point he becomes 5 meters, at which point he's 1 meter taller than. But yeah, no, in American, that is 11 feet 6 inches and 16 feet 5 inches. Groudon isn't even twice as tall as me.
What going on here is that if Groudon isn't aggroed, he's said to be helpful.
Really?
But If he is aggroed, you're responsible for a full ecological reset. Him and Kyogre are locked in an eternal rivalry as one tries to destroy the other and claim the territory they've claimed for themselves. I mean, if I was losing this bad, I'd be pissed off too. It takes Rayquaza to put them back in their place, but depending on your choices, that might not even be enough.
Cease your fighting and return to your slumber, great... Wait. Hey, wait a minute! You're that asshole with the Deoxys! You bitch!
Speaking of Kyogre, the guy keeping the rent low in the ocean is up next, Sharpedo. Now, Jaws might have done a lot to hurt the public opinion on sharks, but don't give it all the credit. Sharpedo's working hard too.
Oh my
This
God.
is a ravenous sea beast, sporting nicknames like the Bully of the Sea, Ruffian of the Sea, Bandit of the Sea, and Gangster of the Sea.
Really? All these of the sea.
Wait, those sound f***ing badass. I want one
They
now.
do.
Topping
I want
out
a
at a
Gangster of the
swim
Sea.
speed of 75
Gangster of
miles
the
per
Sea.
hour and sporting a mouthful of never-ending daggers it calls teeth, Sharpedo's ferocity is so great it could easily tear chunks out of anything that drifts too close. If you're small enough, it'd probably swallow you whole, since it's every inch of 6 feet long.
Good
if you
lord.
want to try and keep Sharpedo happy, you're going to need a lot of water and a lot of fish you do not care about.
Oh,
Winkle
God.
might make the worst mistake of its life
you know, good
and
news,
rest in
Magikarp
his
is coming.
waters, but otherwise you're responsible for getting an absurd amount of meat to satisfy its hunger.
How much does it eat?
And of course, it's not like it's going to be thankful.
As
It'll
much as
just
a
try
cartoonish
adding your
shark would be
arm to the
expected
meal.
to.
And
Oh.
since they haven't come up yet, it's only natural Alola butts in to try to explain why they're like this and make the problem worse.
Oh, God.
In Alola, Sharpedos were made victims of overfishing to harvest their fins for different meals.
Oh.
And their teeth turned into trinkets sold to tourists.
Ooh.
This makes Alolan Sharpedos
Yeah,
the deadliest
tragic.
of all, thanks to generational victimization. You ever wonder why we never domesticated zebras? That's because they have generational victimization so strong that they'll kill anything that tries to get close to them.
Really?
Because most
I
things
did
that
not
get
know
close
this.
to them try to eat them. Now replace zebras with great white sharks. And as if the Alolan embarrassment couldn't get any worse, they
It's
turned
a
Sharpedo into a premier
It's a
ride
natural
Pokemon, using it to ram into hard rocks
Oh.
and crack them.
No, here's the thing. It's a natural habitation in a way to create, like, generational instinctive fear or anger. It's a strange thing that we're not quite sure about in genetics. But it's interesting.
Okay, so it's not nice that they'll sink cruise ships full of people, but when an Alolan Sharpedo does it... Like, I get it. 6 is up next. Fuck 6. 7 is up next.
What?
To make all things fair, and by fair I mean entirely unfair, it's time to cover the other box
here
legendary
we
of
go.
Gen 3, Kyogre. Now, a lot of what goes for Groudon goes for Kyogre.
Yeah.
I mean, the two are both helpful creatures that you're completely ill-equipped to care for, that have the
Definitely.
chance to destroy the world if they get the wrong look from the other.
They are gods.
It's not really fair to Groudon that he has to be lower by virtue of ground being lower rated than water, but if I stopped counting types now, I'd have a lot of apology notes to write. Picking between
yeah.
Kyogre and Groudon is like asking which apocalypse sounds better.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
Water
it's not like
world.
Noah's ship sunk during the flood. There's precedent. You know what? Here's how we worm our way out of this one.
All right.
Kyogre gets to be higher because it matches the Great Ball. Torkoal is he's great. I like him a lot. He's orange. I think Smog's been a bit thicker than usual. Torkoal is a walking combustion
I love
engine,
him.
taking in fuel and releasing
I like
clouds
turtles.
of smoke and smog as he meanders around the place. This rules out keeping him inside, unless you use the sound of a carbon monoxide alarm going off as white noise. Getting the official Torkoal Care Guide, too, lets you know that Torkoal's inner engine is all that's keeping him alive.
Oh.
So if it starts to dwindle, you need to shower him in flammable objects to keep him alive. Imagine Charmander's tail, except it was actively going out all the time.
Oh,
That does
no.
mean that there might be a chance to revive him if you restart the fire soon after it goes out. Just keep some kerosene in the first aid kit, it'll be fine. What drags Torkoal kicking and screaming to a 7, though, is that beyond most aspects about him, he has the mood of a great pet. Torkoal, because
He's
he
a
can
turtle.
access his life support system through a giant hole in his back, is terrified of everything and prefers to stay at home and lounge. Of course, you don't want to keep him too happy, because the way Torkoal shows it's happy is by bellowing more smoke. So hit him with a few personal insults every once in a while so he doesn't get too used to you.
Wow.
Next up might trick you into thinking it's worth it.
Oh, this thing.
But trust me, it's not. Jirachi is the wish-granting Pokemon, which sounds like the perfect deal. You get a wish-granting little fairy to make all your dreams come true. It's small, cute, easy to house, great attitude, top-class pet. And then the week-long free trial ends and you're out in the cold for the next millennium. See, Jirachi is a wish-granting miracle worker for 1 week every 1,000 years. In between then, it's encased in a thick crystal cocoon that can only be opened by pure-hearted singing. Build a few tunes right now and ask yourself if they sound pure-hearted. So now you own a giant chunk of potentially wish-granting junk. Already a giant downgrade, except you know who else would want something like that?
Everyone.
Everyone!
Yeah.
You're going to be under constant attack from people trying to take Jirachi. They don't even know it stinks. Only you do. Jirachi isn't even a real wish granter. In his associated movie, he only has the ability to teleport stuff to you and calls that wish granting. He's a little fraud.
Oh my God.
Next up is Huenn and Gorobus,
these
hottest
things.
Pokemon in Hoenn. The two evolutions of Clamperl, the duo do about the same in every regard. And no thanks to their dex entries being extremely copy-paste without any supplementary material to really flesh it out. Almost all their dex entries are about their eating habits.
Oh boy.
And while Huenn has the decency to just gobble up unsuspecting fish like a normal weird fucker, Gorobus insists on drinking its victims with its proboscis.
Oh, wonderful.
Now, obviously,
I heard about this thing where it like dissolves their inside and drinks through that. That was horrifying. That was horrifying.
He also has a clamshell bra for reasons I'm not entirely sure about.
I don't want to know.
Snake.
I don't want to know.
Why are those there?
As I said before, I don't want to know.
Sure is. Things have to eat, and it's not an uncommon way for some fish to feed.
Yeah?
If you have the choice, though, are you really going to want to clean up dead, shriveled-up Wishy-Washy out of her tank every day when she refuses to eat them? The two lack much defining personality, either in the positive or negative. They're kinda just fish, more so than a lot of other Pokemon. A huge problem, though, is the fact that Gorobus and Huenn are specifically deep-sea fish. Deep-sea biology is based purely around survival, rather than stuff like aesthetic.
Yeah.
That's why Pokemon like Huenn have those big dead eyes. Gorobus being pink means it's just vain. Really, though, the problem comes in how deep-sea fish's bodies are built for intense pressures.
Exactly.
The depths that Gorobus and Huenn would naturally live in would be around 170 psi. Taking it too far above those depths and removing those pressures would be deadly. You ever wonder why the only blobfish you ever see above 1,400 feet are the dead ones? More than any other knock against them, like their hunting habits or boring nature, the only way you're going to be able to enjoy your pets is if you take the plunge into the depths of the ocean to check in on them.
No.
Then you're subjecting yourself to all that pressure, and it's just not worth the hassle. Lastly, our lowest rated normal type,
5, really,
ever, Exploud. Now, being a normal type in this discussion is tantamount to steroids. Having no elemental association is a huge boon, as you're less likely to electrocute somebody to death if you're not electric type. It's not impossible. It's not an easy pass to the top of the list, though, as you still have to try at least a little bit. Which Exploud doesn't. That typing score is all it gets right, as aside from that, it's a massive wall of eardrum-bursting noise.
I would hate
Exploud clocks in with yells loud enough to be heard miles away. And these sounds are so intense, they can cause earthquakes. The loudest animal in the real world is the howler monkey, at 140 decibels, audible from over 3 miles away. Exploud, meanwhile, can be heard from over 6 miles away, meaning it's at least twice as loud as a howler monkey. Minimum 280 decibels. 70 decibels is when sound starts to hurt. 140 is when it can cause hearing loss. 280 and above is when your head starts to explode.
With resonance.
Oh, that's where the name comes from. On to 8,
We're
and
fine.
we get to knock out 2 of these guys in one fell swoop.
All right.
Reggie's Rock and Steel.
Of
So
course.
other Pokemon like Deoxys have been hard to read, but at least he has
A face.
a face. Those familiar with reading Braille might be able to get the vibes these guys are putting out, but if you're going on sound, the duo are, difficult.
You can say that. They sound like droids.
The Reggies act a lot less like animals and more like
they're
machines. Fitting
Yeah.
in with the theming of being made by Reggie Gigas, but still making them really bad pets. How are they supposed to get anything
definitely.
across if all they do is amble around and make computer noises? When they put their mind to something, it's usually just to smash it, so I don't know.
Pretty
The
much.
duo is on the lower end of the legendary scale in Hoenn. Wait,
They're legendary?
no, actually, there's only like a few left, so, no, they're actually on the high end. From one duo to the next
Yeah.
are the fossil Pokemon.
Oh,
And
these guys.
because they've skipped in
Would
Johto,
hug-
you might forget the
would
fact
hug the
that
rock
fossils
plant.
are going to be hit a bit
Of course you
harder
would.
due to the fact that they are from a much more primitive age.
Squishy.
Pokemon like Kabutops and Aerodactyl come from an era long before training was a thing.
Yep.
So they don't have that ingrained pet quality that a lot of other Pokemon do that makes raising them easy. Credilli is up first, and for the extra effort it takes to revive these things, you'd think you'd have put the effort towards getting something that wasn't horrible.
Oh,
An ancient
God.
plant resurrected and merged with stone, Credilli satisfies nobody. It's not mobile and lives on beach sides,
Oh.
so it can catch anything that washes in with the tide. It's
see.
a hunter, which means you gotta find places for it to hunt in, and if it runs out of food in a given spot, you have to lug an over 100-pound plant
Oh,
to a new
God.
spot so it can find more food. Then you just gotta stand by, as its extendo penises use acid
What?
to melt whatever it catches into goop that Credilli and
something
this
New
is
Vegas.
the scientific term,
Old
schlorps
World
up.
Blues joke.
I don't get it. Oh, I get what you mean now. Why do I understand you at times? Anyway,
Because there's very, very few times that the phrase extendo penises has been used in this world.
and I wish it was less than 3. Anyway.
Now, you're not at a loss for beaches in Hoenn of all places, but
Yeah.
still, this is not going to be an easy pet to care for.
Oh,
Why
definitely.
did you resurrect it if you don't have a plan? The second fossil isn't
Ah,
far
this
behind, as it's
thing.
time for Armaldo. Now, it is a 5-foot-tall bug.
Yeah.
Some people are naturally going to be upset by this, but those people won't need them when you got Armaldo. Armaldo has that predator instinct that most of the fossil
yeah.
Pokemon have. This thing lived long before kindness was invented, so you're going to be seeing some stuff you'd rather not see when it goes out to hunt. Now, he
Lord.
is a water hunter, which means he's a lot less likely to slaughter somebody by accident. But given how strong and ornery he can be, it's a lot more likely to be on purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe bringing back the first creature to ever walk on land
Wasn't a good idea.
wasn't a good idea? I don't know. Lastly is Aggron.
Ah,
Mr.
I always liked
Signature
his
Pokemon
night look.
himself. Metagross
Yeah.
will pay for his crimes because this thing is begging to be Steven's ace Pokemon. But because
Yeah.
Hoenn gets 2 pseudos, like a greedy little piggy, Aggron gets nobody who wants to call him their own.
Aw.
It's not like
Well,
he
it's not
doesn't
just
have good
that.
qualities. Aggron is an
Aggron
incredible...
sucks.
What do you mean?
I mean, stats-wise, it's painfully slow and not actually that good of an attacker. Why
Huh.
wouldn't I use Metagross? Metagross has infinitely better coverage. It has Psychic type. This thing's just... Well, it's decently fast. It can learn Ice Punch.
Huh. I honestly always kind of like Aggron's design because it's like an armored dragon knight.
It's not
Sort
a
of
bad
thing.
design, but you know what does it better?
What?
Tyranitar.
Tyranitar is more like Godzilla. He's budget Godzilla. Anyway.
important part of his ecosystem. tilling soil and getting more nutrient-rich dirt to the surface.
Nice.
Especially useful after forest fires to reestablish the local flora. To help even further, it will bring in trees from the surrounding area to help reestablish the environment that just got destroyed.
Nice.
If it was just based on personality, Aggron would be one of the best. Except he's also really strong and covered in sharp metal and eats metal as food and weighs over 700 pounds and is 7 feet tall. Oh, that must be what it is. 9 is our last stop before we start considering any of these guys as actual pets. But the barrier for entry is pretty steep. Like how we're starting with the most famous water ground type in Hoenn. He's blue, he lives in swamps, he's in Mr. Who's Den in Pokemon Tarose.
What?
That's right! It's Wishcash.
Oh, this thing.
Don't hold your applause. The man for whom the Wishcash Memorial Most Overshadowed Pokemon Award is named for, which Araquanid is currently polishing above his mantle. Wishcash is a Pokemon most people gloss over, but hey, it's not without reason. Catfish are scary as hell. They'll eat anything. They grow much bigger than you think they can.
They're big.
Just as electric eels. What the hell is wrong with these guys?
You hear about the ones that they found trapped behind a dam?
You'd be surprised how big they get.
Those things were massive. They were mistaken for boulders, and they got that big because they managed to survive accidentally getting behind there. But any other fish that got through were mulched into a slurry, so they didn't even have to try to compete for food.
Oh God!
They almost ate a diver.
Yeah. Oh wow! Those are some big catfish. I didn't realize they could grow exponentially like that. I mean, I've gone fishing for catfish because you can pretty much use anything for bait for a catfish. Like anything.
Anything?
What are you on about?
I don't know.
Yeah, because we use stinky cheese because apparently catfish like stinky cheese to use that as bait sometimes. But pretty much you can use anything.
I will put an onion with a face on it at the end of my fishing pole.
Wishcash shares a lot of these problems, like its territorial nature, where any uninvited guests get hit with a cannonball made of mud to get them to hit the bricks. That territory as well is swampland, one of the hardest biomes to get around in.
Yeah, everyone hates swamps.
Is gonna leave its home for you, you clearly don't know how cool mud can be. That said, if you leave it in its swamp, it's going to be completely catered to. It's a self-sufficient hunter, and mud is pretty much the only thing it needs to be satisfied as far as care goes. But claiming you own a pet when you really just visit an animal is not accurate. At that point, I own the zoo. Metagross is next.
Oh boy,
even
here
though
he is.
He's Aggron's homewrecker, he's still not exactly pet material.
I caught a giant
now,
one
with
for my
the
gym leader
intelligence
team.
of a supercomputer,
You know, if me in person, since you like him so much, I'll give you that special card I found of Metagross. It's a printed one of him in like the snow.
That sounds badass, dude.
I think it's him building a snowman or something. I don't remember. I'll have to look at it again.
I hug you.
Worth having him around. I personally have a Metagross as my book balancer, and for the past few years, he's been doing great work. However, if you really plan on keeping him on a leash, best to know it's not going to end well. For starters, this thing is wide. Wide enough for multiple people to sit on its head.
Oh.
That's just the center.
Oh.
His legs double that width and make it impossible for him to navigate tight corners. Steel types also have a bad habit of eating steel and other metals as their food.
Yeah.
Like how grass types eat grass, and fighting types eat fight.
What?
So keeping a half-ton crab well-fed is going to bankrupt
That's not a thing.
You think he's not smart enough to know when
you
you're
want to feed your Machamp, you walk up and you punch him in the face.
He's just not nice.
Just survive the counter swing.
Metagross is one of the most brutal Pokemon of them all.
Really?
Their intelligence.
Let me go back a bit.
You think he's not smart enough to know when you're skimping out on the cheap shit? Worst of all, he's just not nice. Metagross is one of the most brutal Pokemon of them all. Their intelligence increasing to the point they know the best way to win is just beating the opponent to death. The scary part doesn't come in when Metagross is winning, though. It's when he starts losing, and decides to self-destruct to take his opponent out with him.
Oh,
How bad does it have to be for a supercomputer to think its only option left is to kill itself? Anyway, I doubt Metagross factored you into the blast zone, but
Oh,
what
definitely
are you
not.
gonna do about it? Scold him? He's dead! You're dead! Next up is Cacturn, the second grass dark type in Hoenn, because next to Blood Feuds, this was the generation of making a unique type combo, and then doing it again.
Oh.
I'm kidding. Quagsire beat both of these jabronis to the punch. So anybody hoping to get anything out of this guy during the day is out of luck. This means he's nocturnal, completely motionless during the day, and waiting for nightfall so it can partake in its hunting ritual. See,
Wonderful.
Cacturn gathers up the boys, finds a traveler in the desert who's exhausted from the sun, and then beats the shit out of him and then sucks the moisture out of his body. I had a very long argument about whether or not this was premeditated murder. So traveler doesn't necessarily mean it was a person, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What else is there in the desert for Cacturn to suck dry? Lunatone? Solrock? Claydol? They don't have any water in their bodies.
Yeah.
Cacturn gets back after a long night, belly full and totally satisfied, and you just have to ignore it. Don't think too hard about it. If you think too hard about it, that makes
That makes you an accomplice.
Yeah.
If you
Don't think too hard about it, Wolfie.
Oh my god.
The
you an
police are watching
accomplice.
this.
Continuing the tradition of taking a perfectly fine Pokemon and ruining it with Dark type,
Oh,
is
boy.
Crawdaunt. Crawdonts are the ultimate survivalists. There's pretty much nowhere they won't live and nothing they won't eat.
Oh.
There's also nothing they won't do to get a place to live and things to eat.
Oh.
Crawdons are terrible bullies, often forcing anything in its ecosystem out
Good lord.
with constant battles and unending endurance thanks to its outer shell. Once the lake or pond or dirty puddle they've claimed as their territory is empty, Crawdaunt gets the run of it to eat whatever's left over. Usually scum and stuff no other Pokemon would dare eat.
Ugh.
This ironically makes them easy to care for, but hard to care about.
Yeah.
Especially when they take too much damage and lose a claw, where they immediately turn timid and afraid. Imagine Crawdaunt claims your bedroom as his territory.
Oh, no.
And now you're sleeping on the couch because you're too afraid to tell your dog no. And you wonder why Ash decided to forego an evolution and just keep Corphish? 10
I like
brings us
Corphish.
across the threshold where asking for this pet won't end in an immediate no. It's close. You still probably shouldn't. But if you impulse get one, you'd get a concerned look instead of a slap.
Yeah.
No better place to start than a big, bulging block of bitter ice, Glalie. Glalie is the condensed regrets and pain of stranded hikers frozen and gathered into an ice ball with a mouth.
I didn't know
So now
that.
you sleep on the doggy
Yeah,
bed?
no, Pokemon doesn't
At
fuck
5
around.
feet tall, however big you think Glalie...
Sleep on the darky bed. What did you say?
Pokemon doesn't fuck around.
It's weirdly inconsistent on its tone. In terms of writing.
I'd argue it's very
he is
consistent.
much bigger.
It's cute until you look deeper.
Oh my god.
Glalie is
When you
better
find out
for
that
housing
Sandcastle
than you
ate
might
a child.
assume, since the
God.
ice he's made from isn't capable of melting, but still, his size means special housing is required. He also has the ability to instantly freeze moisture in the air around him.
Oh!
And to be able to do that, he'd have to be extremely cold, like
Oh,
dangerous
definitely.
to touch cold. That's exactly how Glalie takes his prey as well. Frozen solid and scarfed down in one go. Again, we're easing into the actual pets. We are not out of the woods yet. Walreign's next, and
Ah, yes.
sure, you know
Walrus.
what? You saw a walrus and thought that sounded fun. You live with the consequences.
The
300 pounds of frozen blubber and
Yep.
dual dagger dentures sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. Walreins are pretty well behaved, seeing as they act as pack leaders for their pre-evolutions, but there's only so much he can do to protect you from himself.
From
One
himself.
over-enthusiastic hug and they'll be scraping you off the floor with a shovel.
Oh god.
Listen. His name is Spiel.
Yeah.
He's ball-shaped.
Yeah.
Cute. If you're willing to shove an Everstone down his throat, then you're gonna be much
Spherical.
better off.
Yeah.
Next up
His
is
literal
Roselle.
name is Seal and Sphere put together.
Feel
He is ball. Similar to Mirai, but
all satisfying to see.
he is ball like Mirai, but definitely better than Mirai because he has a tail and he's cute.
Your eyes cute.
This is where we agree to disagree.
I'm working on getting plushes of him made.
Oh my god. How are you getting... I don't want to ask. My plushie would be way too complicated now that I think about it.
I imagine you'd do well with one of those just standard sort of chippy plushes that don't have a lot of facial detail, but mostly focus on the hat.
I just wanted to make the plushie that I showed you before of me.
I want to hug the plushie.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Roselia,
I will put
a
you in the
Pokemon
plush
who
pile
punishes
with the
you for
Joe
trying
Cat
to enjoy
goblins.
it. Roselia's greatest strength is its size. The thing's only a foot tall, a third of an elf. Give it a pot
Do
to
not
sit
pick up
in
the
and this
Roselia.
thing's set. Alright, now never go near this pot again because this thing is also a poisoned howitzer. Roselia is extremely protective of, and incredibly proud of, its flowers. Grooming and looking after them all the time, and sicking its poisoned thorns on anybody who gets too close.
Oh god.
This includes house guests, gardeners, mailmen, and you, because it likes its flowers more than it likes you.
Of course.
Roselia doesn't realize that people are simply trying to admire its flowers and the wonderful scent they give out. If you get too close, though, the poison it uses is described as vicious. That's a strange word to use to describe poison.
How does that work?
I mean, it's evocative. After all that, it even demands fresh spring water to maintain its flowers.
Oh,
Sorry,
God.
Roselia. I can't do that. I stopped breathing a few minutes ago. 11 comes next, if you didn't know. And we're starting with another normal type who's resting on his laurels. In fact, he's been resting on them so long, his laurels have gone numb. Slacking mirrors much of human life. Starting as young and lazy without a care in the world, getting extremely invigorated in the middle, and then getting lazy again towards the end. Slacking's strength is legendarily high. More than enough to snap trees with a lazy backhand.
Isn't he like a pseudo-legendary?
As thick as branches, let alone the whole tree.
He has those stats, but he has an ability that gimps him.
Yeah, apparently there was one boss fight in one of the Pokemon games where someone gave him a Slacking, but it was a duel battle, so I don't know what Pokemon they used, but it was able to basically remove that and give it on to the other Pokemon.
Yeah.
So that's horrifying.
Yeah, no, Truant is the only thing keeping Slacking from fucking annihilating most people.
So if Slacking wants you dead, you're dead.
Yeah.
All that's really keeping you alive is that Slacking doesn't see a fight as worth the effort. Slacking couldn't care less if something non-fatal was bothering it, letting the world pass it by as it reaches down, grabs a clump full of grass, and chews it for hours. So despite being so dangerous, you're not really in danger. The real danger comes when you run out of food and have to try rolling it to a new patch of grass for it to eat.
Oh, it's not gonna move.
Maybe it'll tucker itself out while it's chasing you and lie down until you can get to safety. That's the beauty of Truant. Next is a Pokemon I have a lot of sentimental attachment to, Shiftry. See, Shiftry is the final evolution of Seedot, and this was my favorite Pokemon as a kid.
It's so weird.
An acorn with eyes, really shooting for the stars there. I would borrow my brother's Hoenn game and restart it over and over, without ever erasing his save, and just keep trying to find Seedot. I did it so many times, and every time I could never find him. So, even today, I still really care about this Pokemon. Now, the reason I couldn't find it was because he had Sapphire. I make up for it with my dashing good looks. Back to Shiftry, though, and while that big white mane might leave a lot of hair, he can still fit decently into a normal home.
Okay.
Though, as a grass type, it's more likely he'd prefer his home turf, which means he shouldn't be too high maintenance.
Yeah.
Shiftry is still a dangerous Pokemon if not cared for correctly, though. With fans able to kick up winds that level houses, and precognition that lets it know what you do before you do it. It's hard to feel totally safe with a power like that.
Yeah.
If it helps the decision, it was said that Shiftry is the descendant of a bird Pokemon so evil that it was stripped of its wings and forced to walk the earth instead.
Yeah, Tengu be like that.
Shiftry is on the more reasonable end of the dark types in this region.
Tengu are kind of universally assholes.
Might not be too bad. So
wait, it's
you
supposed to
live
be a
more traditional life.
Tengu. That's what it is. I was wondering, like, is this some kind of yokai? It's supposed to be a Tengu. I can kind of see it now.
It's got the claws, it's got the wings, it's got the nose.
And the hair.
Yep.
Focused on traditions. Somewhere in Kitakama is perfect for raising a shift tree. 12 is next, and who better to lead the pack than Mr. Never Getting a Mega Evolution, just get over it, guys, Flygon.
Ah, yes.
Flygon is another
I can't
desert
poke him in the
dweller,
eyes.
and like Cacturn, its most important goal in life is just finding where its next meal is going to be.
Why is he wearing
See,
thigh
he had
highs?
it easy
I
as
don't
Trap
know,
Pinch.
and that's just
Dig
the
a
print
hole,
on him.
open mouth, try to swallow whatever falls in. Now he's got to work a lot harder, but he never really changed his tactics. See, instead of trapping his opponent in a hole, he decided to become the trap, as his wing beats gather sand and create sandstorms every time he flies.
Oh.
While this will mask his flights and make him popular with Excadrills, it's going to be a nightmare if every time he does his namesake, fly, you're gonna get cut up in a sandstorm.
Yeah.
That said, he isn't poorly behaved or anything, and in fact is the first case of a Pokemon in Hoenn making a friend.
Nice.
Flygon has a symbiotic relationship with Crocodile, where Flygon will kick up a storm to cloak Crocodile so he can go in for an ambush. Once the prey is dead, the pair share their haul and move on to sandier pastures.
Nice.
Now, any Pokemon that can make a friend automatically gets higher, but I will say it doesn't reflect well on him when Flygon's first contact in his phone is a crook. Next is Illumise and Volbeat, who cares? Next is Mawile. Okay,
What?
so I know we all want to talk about the fact Mawile's footprint changed between generations, but I also want to talk about the giant mouth on the back of its head. This is Mawile's defining feature, and you'll excuse me if I focus on them for a bit. With a bite force strong enough to snap iron and a size bigger than Mawile's main body,
Oh,
the
God.
question of how dangerous these are should be at the front of your mind. It's not unpredictable, it's not like a separate being, it's totally under Mawile's control.
Oh, that's better.
Mawile doesn't seem like the type to use it maliciously. It'll use its disarming appearance to lure in prey to snatch it up, but chances are Mawile will recognize you're too big and not even try.
That's better.
No, fairy type. In fact, that back mouth is a lot more
it's
garbage
fairy.
disposal than anything. Able to eat anything Mawile doesn't like without any taste buds to really care. Mawile might be tough if you keep any other pets, but it won't be as hard to break in as others.
That's
Next
better.
is Ninjask, Dr. Speed. I had hoped that after shedding his evils and making Shedinja that he would have been able to get higher, but hey, 12 ain't bad. I can think of at least 11 worse numbers. Ninjask is entirely speed-focused. No need to worry about defenses if you're never getting hit in the first place. Despite being a ninja, he clearly doesn't care much about stealth, as he's a cicada.
Yeah,
Bug
those are
famous
very
for being
loud.
extremely loud and obnoxious.
I've heard them all the
A
time.
tradition Ninjask has no intention of breaking. Also, in the real world, cicadas make that noise because they're looking for a mate.
Oh, yeah.
Ninjask is the horniest Pokemon in Hoenn. Mixed with that is Ninjask's surprising clumsiness. When flying, it has difficulty with sharp turns and will often crash into stuff.
Oh.
So imagine the trouble it'd have in your kitchen. Just crashing into walls, knocking over dishes, screaming the whole time. Who are you sneaking up on?
Oh, God.
Again, it's not bad. It doesn't take up much space, it's totally sufficient in getting its own sap for food. If you want one, just invest in earplugs. Finally, it's time for Dustox's better half with Beautifly.
Beautifly.
And this thing should be a layup. Beautifly is a lot like Butterfree, who didn't do half bad for itself with a 16, and a lot of the same stuff applies to Beautifly. It's gorgeous, easy to care for, easy to house. Where's the problem? Well,
The poison?
how do I say this? Beautifly's a jerk. This is not a nice Pokemon. Beautifly is shockingly aggressive for that base stat total.
Oh,
That
I think it's
proboscis
based
is
off of
used
Monarch
the exact
Butterfly.
same way as Gorobus uses it, sucking dry any enemies it comes across.
Oh, God.
And while they're usually flowers, it can still jab at anybody it wants to and take away their food. Several
Wonderful.
Dex entries describe it as greedy, savage, and aggressive.
Wow.
And just getting too close to it when it's eating can get it angry. I'm saying this
Not
thing
great.
bites me, I'm punching it so hard its body flies back, but its wings stay where they are. Blaziken is up next, and
That's a good one.
It's always sad to be the first starter up, but
Yeah,
it could be doing a lot worse.
Firebird.
Remember, Charizard and Feraligatr exist. As a martial artist, he has a level of discipline that lets him keep his flames under control.
Okay, that's good.
Unlike a Hariyama or a Medicham, there's no real telling what his style is supposed to be. It's
What?
kind of just punches and kicks.
Maybe
Blaziken's also
kickboxing?
good for only producing flames when in combat, which it will be discerning about.
Good.
Tougher the opponent, the hotter the flame. He's not igniting
Oh.
during a sparring match or anything. The only issue, like with a lot of fighting types, is that you're going to have to portion out your pet's meals like he was a pro fighter to keep his muscle up.
Ah.
Not easy to manage, but if you can, he's not bad.
Not
Finally
bad.
is Pelipper
Alright.
for the 12s, and the deck says its mouth is big enough to fit a child.
Why?
Why do I need to know that?
Do not test this.
How do you know that?
Why do you...
Did you
yeah.
test this? Did you see it?
What the
How do you
hell?
know a child can fit in Pelipper's bill?
Yeah.
I've seen pelicans in the real world.
They
They'll
can't
eat
do that.
anything they think has a pulse just so they can feel it stop. Vile creatures.
Yeah.
What's stopping Pelipper from doing that? Sometimes it carries small Pokemon to safety. Other times it just leaves with them and never comes back.
Oh my
What are
god.
you gonna do? Catch him? He swallows them whole.
Good lord.
Yeah, he's fine and everything else. He's whatever, doesn't matter. Why did you say he can eat a kid?
Yeah.
13 starts out with a Pokemon who seems unassuming at first, but can be a real pain in the wrong scenario.
Okay.
Nosepass shares a lot
Oh,
with other
this
rock
one.
types like Sudowoodo. It pretty much just a statue with charisma. Nosepass is moving at a speedy 5 centimeters a year unless prompted, but prompting him too loud might spook him, causing him to spin into the ground like a drill.
Oh.
He'd be surprised when he finds out what a basement is. Nosepass also emits intense electromagnetic waves that allow it to act as a compass. If you're the hiking type, this makes him an excellent partner, since you'll always be able to find your way back home. If your house has electronics in it, you might find some problems.
Oh,
To
yeah.
demonstrate what I mean, I'll be holding this high-power neodymium magnet up to my computer. Manectric is next, and there's something about dog-shaped Pokemon that actually makes them harder to talk about than non-dog-shaped Pokemon.
What do you mean?
Like, yeah, it's definitely
It's
a
a
dog. No debating
Oh.
that. Housing it will be as
What else
easy
are you
as
gonna say
housing
about
a
it?
real
Electric?
dog, offset from a better score by being charged
Feed
with
him
an absurd
double
amount of
A's.
electricity. Its main lets off a constant electric charge that will short-circuit
Oh.
machinery and
Oh,
even
not
shock
good.
you if you try petting him. A
No.
dog you can't pet. What's the point?
Yeah.
That said, its ability to absorb and heal itself with electricity makes it a great pet for the easygoing pet owner. Sends a few batteries, and he's back to 100%. It's also
Nice.
one of the few Pokemon you wouldn't want to Mega Evolve just so he wouldn't be made fun of. Look at this big fucking idiot. Next is Grumpig.
Oh, this
I
thing.
abstain on the grounds of him not being Spoink. Grumpig
Yes.
is one of those Pokemon that just don't really have a lot to talk about.
He's also not nearly as cute as Spoink.
True, but he also has legs, and Spoink doesn't, and that is a lethal failing on Spoink's part.
Oh my god, but Spoink is still cuter without the legs, so he
Notable
fails.
in any regard.
Infinitely cuter, yes,
Most
but
you
you
can say
can't
is that
hug
he
it
relies on
because it
hypnosis
needs
and
to
fights.
bounce to keep its heart
Unlike a
beating.
Oh my
Hypno,
God.
though, he prefers to keep his hypnosis professional and only uses it in combat.
Oh.
Really, all I gotta work with here is that Grumpig's psychic dance that it uses to attack became a dance trend in other regions.
Oh.
So, if you want a dog who invented the dab, I guess get a pig. Teacup Spoinks are a myth! Next up is the head honcho
God.
of the legendary
That's true.
trio of Hoenn, Rayquaza.
Ah, yes, Rayquaza.
Rayquaza. Delete is appropriate.
Tried to beat
Now,
up
most
Diddy Kong, and I
legendaries
don't
to
know
this
why.
point have kind of just
What?
been pricked.
Did you not play Smash Bros. Brawl?
I did. I don't remember Rayquaza being up Diddy Kong.
He tried. Fox shot him.
Okay. Let's go back a little bit.
It became a dance trend in other regions. So, if you want a dog who invented the dab, I guess get a pig. Teacup Spoinks are a myth! Next up is the head honcho of the legendary trio of Hoenn, Rayquaza.
I've always liked his
Rayquaza.
design.
Delete is appropriate. Now, most legendaries to this point have kind of just been pricks.
Yeah.
Mewtwo? Test Tube Baby whose glass was tapped on for the last time. Groudon and Kyogre, toddlers throwing dirt and water at each other.
Yep.
Entei, you know what you did.
Yeah.
Adults like Ho-Oh and Rayquaza is appreciated. Rayquaza has taken up the role of Earth's protector, fighting to protect humanity from threats on Earth and from the stars. And this guardian status means his temperament is second to none. While owning the protector of the entire planet sounds like a sweet deal, it means one of two things. Either Rayquaza is constantly busy and has no time for you, or worse, he'll bring you along for his 5th fist fight with Deoxys this week. You either get to live a life of adventure or get nothing. Make your choice. When you can wield it, though, I mean, Mega Rayquaza is the strongest Pokemon, so feel free to use that. Lastiost is Latiast, and hey,
definitively the best
if I can knock Entei for trying to be Ash's dad, I can knock a lot.
Wait, what? What was that? I don't remember
being the best.
No. He said something about it being this one being Ash's dad, and I got very confused.
No, if he can knock Entei for trying to be Ash's dad, then.
Oh. Yeah, that was a.
Latios for trying to be Ash's wife.
What?
You kiss that kid, you freak! You're a freak!
Oh yeah,
14
that
is
thing.
Next, and with it comes the next starter for the region, Swampert. Now, I know. Who needs Swampert? We have the sexual dynamite of Wishcash! I guess they felt like taking a second swing at it, though?
What?
Swampert on the outside seems like a pretty bad pet.
What do you mean, what?
Thanks to all of the features it shares with Wishcash. Stronger than it has any right to be, lives in a swamp. What's the positives? Well, a big positive is that, like Wishcash, it's easy to care for, as the most it needs to be happy is to stay wet. Blast the hose in the backyard and make a mud puddle, and he'll be happy.
Yeah.
What's more is that getting a Swampert is like getting insurance for your home in case of natural disasters. Swampert is very sensitive to storm conditions, and will fortify its territory to weather anything.
Nice.
That means he's willing to give back. As far as starters go, not bad at all. Rising from the depths is our next pet, Relicanth. And if you're worried about it exploding like Gorbis and Huntail, no worries. That rock typing means its hard outer shell handles the pressure and allows it to survive at higher depths of water. Relicanth subscribes to the less is more ideology. Barely doing anything, but doing it with so much charm that it's hard to hate him. But watch. Wasn't that awesome?
Oh my god.
Relicanth isn't up to much, and its need to be in dark, cold water to mimic the ocean depths means it's not going to be the easiest to house or care for. But it was here long before you were, and it'll be here after you're gone. If you want a low-maintenance life commitment and are sick about Chadots talking back, Relicanth is perfect. In fact, it's even theorized that its lack of evolutions in millions of years is due to it being already perfect. Damn, my bad. Number 1 fucked fucker, Breloom, is coming in hot. Going from a simple mushroom into... Well, what the hell was he supposed to be? Not a kangaroo? So, Octillery evolution aside, what does Breloom have? Well, it's 4 foot tall and can still punch you in the face because it has extending fists that are totally invisible due to punching with the speed of a bullet train.
What?
Breloom can clear a crowd of people by the time they realize what the hell it's even supposed to be. Aside from the danger of being knocked out, which... I mean, as a kangaroo, it's not like it's a disciplined martial artist like other fighting types. The main problem comes from its tail seeds being incredibly bad for you and causing stomach problems.
Oh!
If you're picking stuff off your dog to eat, what, do you want me to feel bad for you? Give him the standard plant treatment and maybe a Wobbuffet to wail on and you'll be good. Solrock is next and...
What's this thing?
It's a floating rock.
Wait, what?
Really, I want you to tell me what I'm supposed to do with this. The rock floats. Very good for it. But what exactly makes this a pet you'd want?
What? Yeah.
The only reason it and the Lunatone are separated is because Solrock is covered in long spikes that might knock stuff off tables that it passes.
Huh.
You want to see a more interesting version of this? Bam! Claydol. He's a floating rock, but he's at least weird about it.
He's at least weird about it.
15 ushers in the first wave of acceptable pets that will be great for most owners.
Alright.
And to show that I'm the only one qualified for this job, I'm starting with the real best legendary in Hoenn, Reggie Ice.
Really? He's this high?
There's one above him, but like, he's better. How in the world could one of the Reggies be better than the other ones? Significantly better at that. Well, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are good for one thing, and that's boosting the hell out of Reggie Ice's score.
Oh.
See, all of the Reggies who existed at the time of the game's release could be collected in it, flat braille and all. But what steps do you need to catch their boss, Reggie Gigas? Well, getting all of the Reggies is the obvious first step, but from here, it's all about Reggie Ice. To open Reggie Gigas' door, you need to not only nickname your Reggie Ice, but give him an item that's related to the cold.
Oh.
This can be either the Nevermelt Ice, Icy Stone, or a Castelia Cone. In order to catch Reggie Gigas, you have to give Reggie Ice some ice cream and give him a fun nickname. He's a baby compared to the other two, and that makes me like him a hell of a lot more as a pet. You think that's it? Reggie Ice's field trip is only getting started.
Alright, let's see
In
this.
Galar, to collect him in the Crown Tundra, you need to get him his best friend, Cryagonal. Cryagonal was the first ever Pokemon without a gender, besides Mew, to be able to learn Attract, which has led to a long-standing joke that Cryagonal doesn't know what love is. Well, I can safely say that by Gen 8, that joke is dead, because him and Reggie Ice are tight. These two are butt buddies for life. I'm willing to compromise my integrity for Reggie Ice. Next is Lunatone, Smooth Soul Rock. Next is Tropius, slightly smoother Soul Rock.
He's got bananas.
Damn, I should start grading them all like this. That would be way quicker. Tropius is a surprisingly good pet for being a dinosaur, with its biggest knock being how much space he takes up. Gonna make taking care of him inside a lot harder.
Oh, definitely.
But as a grass type, he's hardly gonna be spending that much time indoors anyway. His behavior and safety I had to speculate on a little bit, since most of his dex entries are dry as fuck, but a lot of them do touch on how delicious the bananas that grow on his chin are.
Kind of
weird. Saying that if it's so well known that his bananas taste great, and people have picked enough to prove it, I'm guessing he's pretty chill with it and willing to let it happen.
Yeah.
If he didn't like that you were eating parts of his body, I think he'd let you know.
Oh,
16 is next, as we get our first normal type in a hot minute with Zangoose. Now, Zangoose, of course, has the baggage of Seviper following him around all the time, but where Seviper has no defense against getting chunks ripped out of him, Zangoose has evolved to actually benefit from Seviper's poison. Poison not only doesn't affect Zangoose, but will actually buff him too.
Oh, cool.
Giving him extra strength to put a stop to the fight quicker. When he's off the clock from his job, fucking hating Seviper, he's much more cat-like than he might appear.
Really?
Enjoying napping off poison and trips to the beach. Zangoose will obviously have its moments, but a quick spritz from the spray bottle and he's likely to calm down. Or get more violent. I don't know. Next is Hariyama, and boy was I close to rethinking the type grading with him. By all measures, Hariyama is great. As a sumo wrestler, his discipline is fantastic, as well as his attitude. Hariyama will only fight those willing to fight, respecting the rules of a clean fight, and congratulating his opponent after a good match.
Cool.
His strength is incredible, but measured. He's a kind and respectful friend and teacher to wayward Makuhitas. What's wrong with him? Well, this is where typing matters. Because as a fighting type, he's just not meant to be a pet. He's the size of a person, acts like a person, eats like 10 people, and is as wide as about 3. I wish I could rate him higher, but there's just too much baggage. Latios sends out the group, and since he kept his lips to himself, he's allowed to be discussed. Now, as the yang to Latios's yin, he's not quite as kind and is the more combative of the two. Latios, though, is great at reading a situation thanks to its psychic empathic abilities, allowing it to read the thoughts of people and understand them. Latios is also smart enough to understand and communicate with humans, so there's no guesswork when it comes to how to care for him.
Okay, that's good.
But that also does mean that if he's feeling unappreciated or like you're not doing enough, He won't knock stuff over, he'll just curse you out. By the way, only one entry talks about Latios being smart. Meanwhile, every entry of Latios's talks about his intelligence. 17 may be a great grade, but they are not sending their most interesting to start out with.
Alright.
Swallow is a bird.
A bird. A big bird.
I know it's a normal flying type like Pidgeot or Noctowl or whatever, but this is the most bird-ass bird I've ever seen.
His bird is
bird. He can't turn his head like Noctowl. He doesn't have hair like Pidgeot. Its dex entries could easily just describe a real bird. This sauceless bastard has nothing remarkable about him.
Sauceless.
You want a bird?
Bastard.
Here. A no-frills,
bird.
gimmickless bird that likes flying and building nests. Get this man his thunder armor, he's naked. Spinda is up next,
thing.
If you have a compulsive collecting problem, just go back to catching Vavilions. I'm trying to save your life here. You're not going to find the one with a penis on its face.
What?
Spinda is an adorable klutz.
Do you not know that?
Capable of walking in a straight line as he swings around.
So Spinda's gimmick is that it doesn't have a sprite so much as random sets of coordinates where the 3 spots on it can appear. So there is so many goddamn Spinda variants you can run into.
Harmlessly bumping into stuff as he bounces from one wall to the next. His normal typing saves him a lot here because a fire-type Spinda would be a walking disaster.
Oh yeah!
And as he is now, he's a totally
he just knocks into
beauty.
things.
Except, well, Spinda's got a very weak stomach from all that dizziness and is prone to getting sick when he gets too excited.
Oh no.
Spinda, baby, just throw up in the purse. It's okay, I'll get a new one. We're at a wedding, Spinda. Please sit still. Next up is Milotic, the majestic sea serpent who saw everything that Gyarados brought and decided to do it better. Evolving from the ugly duckling Feebas, Milotic is a Pokemon well worth the effort of getting, as its beautiful appearance is sure to make you the talk of the town.
Nice.
You'll be sure that's positive talk too, since Milotic is a natural anger suppressant, able to quell the angry hearts of people with its mere presence. Milotic would be in the running for the best of the best if it weren't for how high maintenance it is. Would you believe that getting it fresh spring water to live in is the easy part? Other regions play it easy with Milotic, since you just need to trade a Feebas holding a prism scale to get one, but Hoenn Milotics need you to up their beauty to the max before they can evolve. 170 beauty is really high. You're going to be shoveling Poffins into Feebas until it bursts. It's worth it in the end, but damn is it a lot of hard work.
Pretty.
Last up is Linoone.
Yay,
Linoone! As we call it in the Ferret community.
I love
Now, where Ferrets couldn't hurt something that tried, Linoone's sharp claws, rough fur, and meaner attitude make it a less safe choice than the Vtubers.
Basically, I love anything that's like Zigzagoon. That's one thing you gotta know about me. In terms of Pokemon, just give me a Zigzagoon. Because Zigzagoon is adorable. He's the true cute Pokemon of the entire series.
Now, I can't exactly have bias here. Any ferret-like tendencies go into the positives column for Linoone. Like how long it is, its normal typing, its easy diet, and how easy it is to
It's just a
house.
ferret.
The main thing hurting him is that if you can get a Linoone, you should probably just get a ferret. Keep him away from any Kiss albums
Ferret
and
does not run in lines.
Barreling towards the end with 18, and we get the last of the starters with Sceptile. Grass always seems to do really well among the starters.
I wonder why.
I wonder how long that will last for. Sceptile's only negative trait I can say is its housing. He's a little on the big side, and that giant tail is gonna give him trouble if space is tight. But beyond that, I can say he's pretty great. Sceptile's used to living in dense forest environments, which makes him extremely agile and good at maneuvering. So it's just as likely he'll be able to get around the kitchen without knocking anything over. That's why I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that his razor-sharp wrist leaves won't be lopping off heads anytime soon. He'll take the time. Also, after Tropius made it acceptable to eat a little bit of your pet, Sceptile has bulbs on his back that are rich in nutrients and great for your health. Next up is Hoenn, and with Generation 3 being the one to introduce double battles, it was natural they'd make a few that work best in double battles.
Shock me.
After about 3 tries, they even made a good one. Hoenn is a Pokemon not built for battle, at least not on his own. Hoenn is the backup, supporting you with moves like Play Nice and Helping Hand. The amount of Pokemon who aren't made for combat is small, so
of course,
any one of them fitting the bill is gonna be great pet material. Having a little mouse buddy that tells you you're doing all right isn't something most people are gonna say no to, and
of course
with how few attacking moves it learns, your safety is assured. Sure, it's electric, and it can take as few as 42 volts to kill a person, but it is blue. Now remember that. And what would Hoenn be without his partner in crime, Absol? We all remember those skits before the Pokemon movies where they'd get up to mischief. Absol is one of the highest rated dark types we're ever going to see.
Really?
And really, based on that attitude and actions, we might have to send him in for reclassification. You sure he wasn't a normal type having a bad day? Absols are solitary creatures who want to stay out of the limelight thanks to years of abuse due to being seen as bad luck and harbingers of disaster. Really though, they're just sensitive to disasters like Swampert is, but since one of them is a 200+ pound wall of wet muscle, and the other has an emover, people found it a lot easier to bully one than the other.
I see that.
Absol isn't a social dog who's going to enjoy his time out at the dog park, but he is gentle, calm, and quiet.
Nice.
For people who deal with a lot of stress, it sounds like the perfect pet.
Yeah.
I will say, though, you can tell how much Game Freak wasn't ready for how much people were going to like the Sephiroth dog because they pivoted a full 180 on this thing.
What?
Oh, no. It doesn't cause the disasters. It's actually trying to not cause disaster. Propaganda is everywhere, folks. Lastly, for 18...
Plusle.
What the fuck? Is that a glitch? Holy shit, that's a glitch. Falling just short of the best pets are 19.
I bet the Plusle somehow got higher.
Oh, that's what he was trying to figure out, because it was also another electric rat. Oh. Alright.
Yeah.
One case, it was by a margin so thin, it's almost unbelievable.
Really?
First off is Love Disc, who has denied the Alomomola rumors for the 12th time today, and still nobody believes them. Now, a lot like how Swellow was just a bird, Love Disc is super just a fish. But again, that's not a negative. It is for me, because telling you why a fish makes a good pet is harder than it sounds.
Well,
you really just need what you need to take care of a fish to own a Love Disc.
Food, water.
It's super easy going. Really simple needs, not a lot of hard work, and in return, you get a fish that amplifies feelings of love and makes the whole environment around it a better place to live in. Now, it should be said, if you plan on getting one, you cannot get just one Love Disc. A Love Disc on its own is one of the saddest creatures in the world, so you need at least 2. And maybe a Corsola to keep it company since they love sleeping in its coral. If you go through that, though, you're opening yourself up to the problems of having a Corsola, so let's just keep the platonic ideal in our head. The other 19, missing out by half a point, is Altaria. Showing Salamence that it's actually not that hard, Altaria is our second flying dragon type, and easily the best.
This thing's a dragon.
Even giving Dragonite a run for its money. Altaria is an absolute sweetheart, radiating positivity and kindness with its beautiful singing and great attitude.
Nice.
Altaria's body is covered in super soft cloud-like feathers that mean Altaria makes the world's best pillow, singing softly as you rest your head on its back. And before you think I'm taking advantage of Altaria, this is something it's known to do. Only with those it creates a special bond with.
Nice.
Altaria is undoubtedly the best of all the dragon types we've seen so far, raising the bell curve of the entire typing based purely on its existence. It missing out on the best of the best is a shame. But if I made exceptions for everybody, then Absol fans would never leave me alone. So if you want a reason why it can't be in the best pets, look up Wet Altaria. It's time for the cream of the crop. The 20s and above mark the best for what we have to offer, and serve as the last stop before the best and worst, with only 3 left before the main event. The 20s begin with another type who usually doesn't make it this far, with Masquerain buoying bugs to a fantastic finish.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what makes Masquerain a good pet? Mostly humans having developed brains. See, Masquerain's main feature are its large horns that it uses for intimidation.
To make an angry face.
It does intimidate as an ability, for God's sakes.
Like a monarch
Pokemon
butterfly.
are terrified of this thing. Clearly, to a human, they're nothing to be scared of, so after that, you're left with a dainty, well-behaved, beautiful bug whose feeding habits are a benefit to you. With its source of inspiration partially being dragonflies, I don't doubt that it would make quick work of mosquitoes and other pests.
I hate mosquitoes.
And that dragonfly inspiration means it also has incredible control over its flight. If Ninjask knocked over your CD rack for the last time, Masquerain is the perfect replacement. Kecleon is next, and after a generation of normal types really testing how far pretty privilege can get you, it's nice to start seeing some that are uncomplicatedly good. Kecleon is a chameleon. And if you know anything about them, it's that they can change color. Where normal chameleons use their color changing as a means of communication, Kecleon uses it for the much more believed reason of camouflage. Not only will it use it to avoid fights or get the drop on somebody, Kecleon also uses it to play, as its favorite game is hide and seek. It will get sad and refuse to uncloak if not found quick enough, but that distinctive red stripe on its stomach is a dead giveaway to make sure you can always find him. Pair that with another easy pest diet and endless customizability, and Kecleon fits perfectly in the best of the best.
Perfect lizard pet.
Now, color change in Protean might be a problem, since if he hangs out too much with the neighborhood Dusclops, he might come back and steal your soul, but...
What?
Fuck, are you perfect? Finally is Chimecho.
Oh, this thing.
It's just an excuse to make Chingling a generation later. Chimecho is a sneaky good pet. You see it, and like everybody else who played Hoenn, don't regard it. Looking into it, though, and there's really nothing more you can ask for. The most this thing can do is make noise, and while Exploud shows that's enough to be at the bottom of the barrel, that's not what Chimecho's about.
Just little chimes.
It's able to make much more calm noises that make it one of the few Pokemon to learn Heal Bell naturally. It's much more on the passive side, and is as easy to house as it is to string up a bell. Anywhere you can hang it from is its territory, and it's not uncommon for them to rest on porches or in windowsills for hours at a time, just fluttering in the breeze. The only reason I can't put it higher is because the Gen 2 remakes, X and Scarlet, mention it having a sucker on the top of its head that it uses to stay in place, and I don't like that one bit. Almost as much as I don't like the bottom 5, which we're about to get into along with the best of the best. The 5th worst Pokepet is not going to be much of a surprise to people who know what death is.
Yeah, this thing.
Now, I've caught some flack in the past for how I've treated ghost types unfairly, and that they have some good members. So am I going to get to see them anytime soon? Between Bayonet and Shedinja, it's hard to say they've been trying hard to impress, and Dusclops is among the worst. While some ghosts are simply annoying or jerks, not many are as malevolent as Dusclops. Dusclops has the ability to absorb...
That just starts off with a Dusclops. Well, that every single card art shows it getting closer to your house as it evolves.
Wait, what?
It's a Duskull sitting under a street lamp. Then it's a Dusclops at the edge of your yard. And then it's a Dusknoir at the fucking sliding glass door at the back of your house.
Oh, I don't like that. Okay, we're moving on.
Absorb any living creature into its body,
Oh!
regardless of size, and make it stop existing. That's not me trying to censor killing. I mean, there's no way of knowing what happens to the stuff Dusclops absorbs.
Good lord.
Are they dead? I sure hope so, because what could the alternative be?
Yeah.
If you think it's merely for survival, let me remind you, he's dead!
Yeah.
Dusclops doesn't do this for its own good, it just does it because it's pure evil. It has no allegiances. Whatever it can absorb, it will. Friends, enemies, neighbors, mailmen, landlords. So he's not pure evil. Still, if your dog has a high likelihood of sending you to the hell dimension, then you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
A Pokemon who would die to keep you safe from a fate like this is the 5th best Pokepet.
Ah, this one.
Now, any Pokemon that
Really?
as a roommate is always going to get side eyes, but Gardevoir is indisputably a great pet. It's hyper-intelligent thanks to its psychic powers, has style.
Why is he showing a Labrador?
Because I don't trust anyone here with an actual picture of Gardevoir.
Because the freaky Pokemon fans. Alright, makes sense.
That leaves people mesmerized, and most of all, is extremely protective of its trainer.
This is just
fighting
random
to the bitter end to keep them safe. That's
okay, but it also sets off black holes.
I mean, there's such a thing as too much. So many Gardevoir entries are about how protective it is that it eventually comes off as clingy. Like you can't leave the house without coming back to a furious Gardevoir. And in protecting its trainer, it can cause some major damage, as it can create small black holes to fight. I don't think the size of the black hole really matters much. Get Gardevoir a body pillow and you're set. After him is a rerun of a previous bottom fiver, and they have done nothing to fix themselves. Camerupt should be better than this. It's got some aspects that make for a good pet, like being easygoing, but when it gets bad, it gets bad. Camerupt is stewing 18,000-degree hot magma inside of its body, and when it gets angered or wants to fight, will erupt and blast it everywhere. Where Magcargo could at least keep it to itself when it was hot, Camerupt can burn down an entire town in one fit of rage. Even if it has the happiest life imaginable, it still has to erupt every 10 years, so you're gonna be in trouble eventually. Worse yet, its natural home is in volcanic craters, which, even in the summer, the average unair-conditioned apartment just can't
this
match.
Be worse than Groudon?
Camerupt would be fine if everything about him was completely different. A good template to work off of is the number 4 best pet.
And it is? What is
Cast Form comes in with a great finish for a Pokemon entirely based on a gimmick. The Cast Form will change with the weather between 3 forms: sunny, rainy, and snowy form. For a region with such a prominent desert and so many Pokemon who live in it, Cast Form never having a sandstorm form has always been weird to me. Extensive testing has been done, and we're now sure that it's not just it being wet, hot, or cold that triggers its changes. No, it has to be one of those ways outside for Cast Form to change. If Cast Form floats under a shower, it'll be fine. If it's hot outside, it won't change, and if you stick it in the freezer, the fuck's wrong with you? More so, it has to be outside and experience those conditions for itself to take change in the first place.
So you can just keep it in the house.
If you don't feel like putting up with that gimmick, you can always just keep him inside. Beyond the mechanics of it, though, it means you have a pet who can thrive no matter the weather. Feeding off the energy of the weather itself, and even able to harness it into stuff like Weather Ball. The only knock against him, and it can be minor, is that Cast Form's mood is based on the weather, with him growing more intense based on how intense the weather is. So if you get caught in a snowstorm, not only are you risking hypothermia, but also an angry Cast Form. Just make sure to keep him indoors when it gets bad outside, and you have a top-tier pet. It'll take a lot more to make number 3 anything more than an absolute nightmare. Ever wanted a little fucker as a pet? Sableye is a one-way ticket
I have
to the
one right here.
house or poorhouse, depending on which breaks first. Your mind or the bank. Sableye is an annoying little jerk who merges dark and ghost and takes their worst aspects for himself. He can sneak anywhere he wants to, take whatever he wants to,
I've always liked
never give
Sableye,
it back, and then torment you if you try to take it back. He has a sinister energy surrounding him that turned him into a folk monster, and unlike Absol, he earned every bad word said about him. All of that could be forgiven if not for the fact that Sableye refuses to eat anything except precious gemstones. You try and feed him that lab-grown shit, he's gonna send your ass to the Nightmare Realm for 3 weeks straight. Now, if you own a blood diamond mine, this thing's a fantastic pet. The crueler the conditions, the more he likes it.
What the hell?
And for the number 3 best Poke Pet,
this thing, really?
after Dragon and Bug got surprisingly high finishes, it's nice to see fighting get its time in the sun too. Like Hariyama and, unlike Blaziken and Breloom, Medicham practices a martial art, a combination of Chinese Kung Fu and yoga. This gives it an incredible attitude. Stoic and steely, powerful yet gentle. Medicham is such a well-behaved pet. Its psychic powers also manifest less in telekinesis, but instead precognition and a sixth sense, making it safer than most psychic types. And if you forget to feed it for, 3 weeks, while Sableye has you trapped in the nightmare dimension, Medicham doesn't mind, since it helps to hone its abilities through fasting. If you're worried about pure power making it a powerhouse, you can always just get one with telepathy instead of pure power.
Interesting.
Or keep some Galarian wheezing gas in a can. Number 2 worst, though. I mean, come on, it's Wailord.
Yeah.
Is it nice? Sure. Does it mean harm? No. Is it 47 feet long? Oh, I found the problem. This thing is absurdly huge. The largest Pokemon of them all by a comfortable margin. Even if it's shorter than real blue whales by more than half, it's still going to be impossible
still
to
close
do
to the size of a blue whale.
It averages around 14 feet tall and 47 feet long. You're adopting a decommissioned subway train, not a pet. You would need a space the size of a basketball court just to hold this thing. Not keep it, hold it. As in, hold it there until you can find an area big enough to store it. Most of the time, that just ends up being the ocean. As even in the manga, a captive Wailord is sort of just let loose to float around in the ocean rather than attempt to house it. Ease of care? Sure, it can hunt on its own, but do you have several 100 pounds worth of fish on hand?
No.
It's not a badly behaved pet, probably the lowest a Pokemon will ever go for this reason, but it's too damn big. Luckily, another water type is here to shore up its weaknesses, as the number 2 best pet is...
I love this guy.
Ludicolo might look a bit odd, but as far as Hoenn pets go,
he also has a sombrero.
Ludicolo's entire life is dancing and positive energy.
Yes, but he dances and he has a sombrero.
Working overtime if it listens to happy music.
Ludicolo
is a shining beacon of goodness, and only slows down when you do. It can sound exhausting, sure, but it's really hard to say it does much wrong. Easy to house, easy to care for, super safe, and a joy to be around.
Yeah.
If you want to go outside, but the weather's too bad, he can use Sunny Day and bring out the best. If you want to cancel an engagement, but the weather's too nice, he can use Rain Dance and poof, your plans are gone. The only thing is that it says he gathers power with dancing too. So if it goes on for too long, cut the music! He's getting stronger! Now it is time for the worst of the worst with the Hoenn pets. Who the f*** is this guy? So remember Muck? Imagine if he had a mustache. Swalot is maybe the easiest Pokemon to describe out of them all. It's a giant walking pile of poison that wants to eat you.
Yeah.
Does it want to? Does it even realize what it's doing?
I don't know.
I don't know. Nobody's been able to ask without getting eaten like a Scooby-Doo sandwich. Really, the Muck comparison is ruining a lot of this discussion, since if you want to know how I feel about Swalot, just draw a mustache on a piece of paper, hold it up to Muck during that discussion, and you got it. But we'll have way more to talk about with the number 1 best Pokepet in all of Hoenn!
Incorrect.
It's just a cat.
It's
with the ability to turn any move into a normal type move. Makes sense, really. Digimon wins again.
Digimon does win again.
Incorrect, because Galarian Meow.
I'm done for the rest of my life.
Well, obviously, he's doing this again. Digimon does win again because you can actually just make friends with them. You don't have to go through all this rigmarole.
Okay, but I want to be friends with Machinedramon, and he has no soul.
Well, you're a machine too. I'm sure you can get together about not having souls or something.
Yeah, I've only played the card game, and Machinedramon's gimmick is devouring other level 5 machines for his own power.
Swampert Poochyena, I see you too. We got Wurmple and Beautifly and Cascoon.
They're really trying this.
Ludicolo, Linoon, and Silcoon, but more to go through. Grovyle and Sceptile,
Good lord, man.
Blaziken, where you at? Cause it's me, I'm asking. Mighty and a Dustock, Seedot, and Nuzleaf. I see Shirtry over there, waving peace.
This is like when I was trying to do I am
in Pokerap exists. I would rather be doing anything else in the world right now than singing this fucking awful Pokerap.
I didn't know there was one for this.
So much. I don't enjoy this. This isn't fun for me. I hate these videos. I hate this chair. I hate this computer. I hate this screen. I hate the person watching this. Personally, I hate everything.
Oh, I thought you liked me.
I don't want to be here anymore.
I'd really like to go home now, but I don't know where home is anymore. Latios and Latios! On my right, Reg Ice, Reggie Steel, Reggie Rock through the night. Duskull, Duscalops, Tropius,
as I was gonna say, this is like me trying to do I am a very model of a Major General.
You're the most. Loftus, Bagon, Shelgon, Metagross, Armaldo, Phoebos, Milotic, and we're still not done. Castform, Kekliani, this fun? Why not in Snorunt? Yo, where you at? Shuppet and Bannet, step
He's doing
up to
that hard,
bat.
though.
Salamence, Bedlam, Matang, and Groudon, Kyogre, and Walrein, and we've only just begun. Ah! He said the names wrong! Did you hear that? The person who I got to make this song even told me this is a huge piece of dog shit. It's a big piece of fucking shit.
So
this
wait.
is horrible. They had to tweak it a lot to make it listenable, and I don't blame them. I'd have done the same thing if I knew what the hell I was doing.
It sounds so much in pain.
Yeah.
Do you think a good person would still go to hell if they do bad things, even if they were a good person? Makuhit, Harry, Drill and Nose Pass, Skitty, Delcatty, Sableye, moving fast. Slacking, Ninkata, Loudred, and Exploud. Agron, Metatite, Metachamp, say it loud. Swallow, Wingull, Pelipper, and Ralts. Shroomish, Breloom, Slack Off, and Vigor Off. Maywild, Tailo, Aaron, Electrike, Manetric, Blustle, Laren, who you like. Rayquaza, Ninjas, Chidinja, Whismur, Vibrava, Flygon, which one do you prefer? Curlia, Gardevoir, Surskit, Masquerain. Come on, everybody, help me sing the refrain. I'm gonna go take a big ass shit.
So there's not an equivalent for Diamond and Pearl, but
you might make one.
It's not technically a poker rap, but there is a song I had on a fucking DVD for Black and White. I expected to hear it when it gets to like, Unova.
I really hope he doesn't try and do all the poker raps, because I bet there's someone has made more.
Just for a few. Jirachi, Deoxys, Celebi, and Mew. Now we bring it back again for Torkoal and Spoink, and Numel and Cam erupt rocking this joint.
Why is Celebi
Rubik's Minute,
Mew in
Trepidate,
this?
Goblet, Swallow,
I don't
Rosalia,
know.
Carvanha, Sharpedo, Wilmer, I See Ya, Wailord, Illumise, Volbeat, and Minun. Everyone stay with me, cause the end is coming soon. Anorith, Cradilly, Laleep, and Claydol. People pay attention, cause that's not all. We got Baltoy and Crawdon, Corfish, and Wishcash.
Remember Volbeat and
the names that can't last. Lunatones, a Viper,
them.
Zengu, Saltaria, Swablu, and Cacturn. I hope I'm not scaring ya. There's one more name that I have to relay. It's spelled C-A-C-N-E-N-D. All right, time for the freestyle, and Zigzagoon, and Relicanth. That's it.
Freestyle.
I want a Zigzagoon to hug.
Yeah, I want a Zigzagoon too. Anyway, Zigzagoons are the cutest little raccoon that they ever made.
I love their artwork and how they're doing a leap.
How they're doing a leap. Yeah, everyone loves a Zigzagoon. If you have a Zigzagoon card, you are by law, since you're watching this video, have to give it to me. Anyway, on that note, what is your favorite Pokemon from Hoenn? What do you think of what we've done so far? And if you want more Bumbles McFumbles videos, well, like and comment down below, but make sure to watch his stuff first. And yeah, I'll see you guys later because it's very hot and I need to eat dinner. Anything you want to say, Matt, before I end it off?
Have a good food, Woofington.
Right. There, guys. Take care of yourselves and like, comment, subscribe.